All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I have for you guys today, Patrick Moore. This recent physique update posted by Patrick and all the physique updates that he's been posting recently leading up to this one have all been extremely impressive from the standpoint that Patrick said during this offseason his intent was to grow and put on some size and make improvements from how he looked in the 2020 season. But this recent video that he posted in particular, this kind of caught my attention because he's actually looking like he's in pretty good shape in this video for someone that was trying to put on a bunch of size. In fact, I think Patrick is in extremely good shape. I think there's a chance that he might be preparing for a show in the near future, and maybe he's going to surprise us and jump in one of these upcoming shows over the summer. He hasn't made any official announcements as to what shows he's going to do. He hasn't said he's going to do a show in 2021. He's even said before that he might take the entire year of 2021 off. But I'm almost looking at this update, and I've kind of got a suspicion that he might be secretly prepping for a show because he looks really good. He looks bigger for sure in all the updates that he's posted. He looks like he's definitely put on size, but he actually looks really pretty lean in these updates. And something tells me we might see Patrick step on stage very, very soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How is Patrick looking? Does he look improved? And do you think he might be secretly prepping for a show in the near future? Personally, I've got a hunch we might see Patrick on stage very, very soon. Now, next up in the news, some Indy Pro news. The Indy Pro is this weekend. As you guys know, you're going to get to see Blessing's pro debut. You're going to get to see Justin Rodriguez, kind of a preview of what they're going to look like before the New York Pro. But another guy that a lot of people were talking about in the Indy Pro lineup was Shawn Smith, and he announced today, unfortunately, that he's going to be pulling out of the competitions he was planning on doing this month, which was the Indy Pro, and I believe also the New York. And he says in the caption there, as many of you have heard, I chose to pull out of my competitions this month due to a respiratory infection, followed by a stomach bug in addition to some other circumstances out of my control. And he says he felt he couldn't bring his best, and he did not want to step on stage at anything less than my best. A lot of people were noting from his updates that he looked like he was in pretty good shape. His conditioning looked pretty good. He had kind of a grainy attribute to his physique. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing him step on stage, especially in this Indy Pro lineup where I think anything can happen because you've got so many bodybuilders in this lineup where they're all they're very different physiques. Nobody is really the front runner, standout winner of this show. It's all a lot of guys. I think it's really going to be a battle. It's a lot of very different physiques. Some guys more experienced than others, like some guys making their pro debut, Blessing Awodabu. So I think this is a show where anything could happen, and you're probably going to see a preview of a lot of these guys. I think a lot of them are probably going to go to New York next week. Then the week after New York, I don't know if you guys know this, is the Cali Pro. So you've got 3 shows back to back to back within a week of each show. Probably a lot of these guys are just going to do all 3. So one of the cool things about that is you're going to get to see a lot of rematches from Indy to New York to Cali, maybe from Indy to Cali. You're probably going to get to see a lot of guys try again against each other, and I think that's going to be kind of cool. But shout out to Shawn Smith. I hope he has a speedy recovery. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in today's video, another physique update from Regan Grimes. Regan Grimes in his offseason trying to put on size. Kind of a disappointing placing that he had at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And I think a lot of people felt that he was outsized by a lot of the men's open guys. His conditioning was decent, but it wasn't great at the 2020 Olympia. I think overall, though, he just needs to be bigger. He's a taller bodybuilder. And he says in this physique update, off-season 280 pounds, and he's one of these guys, he looks fantastic in the off-season. He looks fantastic in his physique updates. He's a very aesthetic men's open bodybuilder. And again, you see these high numbers like 280. He is a taller bodybuilder, and he says in the comment or in the caption of this post, prep starts for the Olympia in 4 weeks. Keep in mind that Regan already qualified last year towards the end of 2020, the shows that were after the Olympia qualification deadline. So he qualified for 2021 and 2020 towards the end of 2020. So he doesn't have to do any shows leading up to the Olympia, so he can focus fully on prepping just for the Olympia, putting on size, making improvements where they need be. And I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What could Regan improve upon to get a higher placing at this year's Olympia? He's got all the time in the world now because he doesn't have to worry about qualifying to make whatever adjustments he feels are needed. But what do you guys think Regan's physique is missing or could be improved when he steps on stage in 2021 at the Olympia? And now a word from our sponsors over at Labrada Nutrition. Now, next up in the news, another physique update from Hafthor Bjornsson leading up to his fight in September with Eddie Hall, that boxing match that he's got. We know he's been losing a lot of weight for that fight. So he gave this physique update, but the other thing that interested me about this physique update is he said, like last week, that he thinks he's in the best shape he's ever been in, but in this physique update, he actually gives his current body weight. He says he's currently weighing about 155 kgs, which I think is the lowest that Thor has been in years, which would put him at around 341, maybe 341 to 342 pounds. And keep in mind, back when he did that deadlift attempt, he was over 450, so he's down like 115 pounds in body weight. We know that he's had a crazy transformation over the past year or so leading up to this fight, but I think it's insane that somebody that weighs 340 plus looks this good. He almost looks bodybuilder-esque. People were tagging me in this post saying, could Thor have been a bodybuilder video? And man, I gotta say, I think Thor looks really impressive, and I really like that he's taking this so seriously. Obviously, losing that amount of weight to work on conditioning for the fight and to work on being faster and having better endurance for the boxing match. That's obviously why he's doing it. It's good to see that he's taking the fight so seriously. Him and Eddie both, I think, are going to put on a really good show come September. The fact that they both look like they've been training so hard, taking it so seriously, especially Thor, losing all that weight. I think a lot of people thought this was kind of going to be like a sideshow, kind of circus fight, but it looks like they're both taking it extremely seriously. I mean, 115 pounds dropped is a serious amount of weight. So it's good to see both these guys crushing it, and good luck to both guys come September. I still haven't picked a winner. I don't know who I think is going to win yet. I want to know who you guys think is going to win, though, in the comment section down below. Now, the next story that I wanted to talk about in today's video, a physique update from Logan Franklin. We know that he's prepping for the Texas Pro Show, where he's going to attempt to qualify for the 2021 Mr. Olympia. He posted this physique update looking extraordinarily classic. Of course, it's a vacuum pose. Logan is a guy who I think in the next couple years is going to be one of the most dangerous guys in the classic Physique Olympia. He needs to fill out his frame a little bit more, but his structure, I think, is perfectly tailored to classic physique. Look at the V-taper that he's got in this update. Look at the proportions that he has in this update. Look at his vacuum pose. Look at the size and detail of his legs. Look at the width of his lats. I think this guy is going to be, he's going to be one of the best in classic. And I saw this physique update, and I just thought, man, this guy, he almost looks very similar to Chris Bumstead's physique, to be honest. And obviously, Chris is kind of setting the standard for what classic is going to be because he's now two-time Mr. Olympia. And I think from a structure standpoint, they're very, very similar. Logan brings really good conditioning. I think if he can just fill out his frame a little bit more and bring that crazy conditioning like he brought this year at the Olympia, he's going to be so dangerous in classic. And I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do in that division. And the final story that I had for you guys today, an 11 weeks out physique update from Keone Pearson showing off his back development going into the Chicago Pro, where Keone will be attempting to qualify for the 212 2021 Mr. Olympia. So we got a lot of stuff to look forward to, guys. Keone, of course, looks very impressive in this physique update. But you got a lot of bodybuilders that you guys are fans of, a lot of classic guys, a lot of 212 guys, a lot of men's open guys. Here in the next couple months, they're all going to be competing. They're all going to be trying to qualify for the Olympia. We're going to have a lot of bodybuilding to watch, a lot of people to cheer on and root on. Keone is one of them. He's a guy that I really want to see how he does at the Olympia this year. I'm assuming he's going to qualify. It depends on who's in that 212 lineup. I'm not just going to give him the victory automatically, but I really want to see him on the Olympia stage in 212 to see how he stacks up. Keone, someone asked me the other day, who's your favorite bodybuilder right now out of any division, 212, Classic, Open? And I said Keone. I think Keone has the best genetics in bodybuilding right now of any division. His proportions are insane. The improvements that he's made are insane. His physique is awesome. I think Keone probably is my favorite bodybuilder right now. Insane potential and just overall a great guy. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about today's video. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.